We won't place our self-defense nuclear deterrent on the negotiation table, whatever anyone says, as long as the US maintains a hostile policy and nuclear threats against us.
Well, for more, Tetiana Anderson can join us now live from Washington, D.C. Hi, Tetiana. First of all, tell us how this phone call came about and what are other U.S. officials saying now?
Well, you know, this call did come about, as you mentioned, after that UN vote, 15-0, to issue sanctions against North Korea for continuing to test its ballistic missile program. President Trump, President Moon speaking on the phone for about an hour. This is where they agreed to really apply maximum pressure to North Korea and to really back up these sanctions against North Korea in order to get that country to make some changes here. Trump, who is, of course, on vacation at his Bedminster, New Jersey golf course, tweeting after this conversation with President Moon, saying, just completed call with President Moon of South Korea, very happy and impressed with 15-0 UN vote on North Korea sanctions. As for what other U.S. leaders are saying, this is something that the U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson did speak out about shortly after that call, saying that, you know, the international community is really watching North Korea at this point. They're closely watching, and they'll act based on what that nation does. Let's listen to what the U.S. Secretary of State had to say.
I think it's quite clear in terms of there being no daylight among the international community as to the expectation that North Korea will take steps to achieve all of our objectives, which is a denuclearized Korean peninsula. I think there should be no question in anyone's mind as to the common view held by everyone on that Security Council as that being the ultimate objective.
Rex Tillerson saying that the best signal that North Korea could send to the world really is to stop launching these ballistic missiles. But he hesitated to put a timeline on what that meant, saying that it's really about the spirit of the talks between North Korea and other nations that's important, and that's what the world will be watching, Andrea.
And Tetiana, China's foreign minister has reaffirmed the U.S. commitment to implement the new UN Security Council resolution. So how significant a step is that to see agreement and what looks like cooperation now between the U.S. and China?
Well, it just takes it one more step when it comes to bolstering that relationship between China and the United States, two of the world's biggest economic superpowers. Of course, China's foreign minister also saying that there are still some tenuous issues between the two nations, but the simple fact that that was reaffirmed shows that there are positive movements between the United States and China. When it comes to Rex Tillerson, he says that the two nations, China and the United States, should really stay away from issues of conflict, issues that bring trouble not only for those two nations, but for the rest of the world. But the fact of the matter is that both China and the United States have a lot of planning to do when it comes to the next 50 years and what this bilateral relationship between these two superpowers is going to look like. But it does seem the simple fact that they were able to sort of come to some sort of agreement on this issue is a positive signal, Andrea.
Okay. Tetiana joining us there from Washington. Thanks so much for that.